You're listening to Spainfully Honest, the podcast where me, Paul,
and me, Catherine, talk about what it's really like living in Spain.
Each week we'll share stories, tips and honest conversations about daily life here in Spain. The good, the bad and everything in between.
Whether you live in Spain or you're thinking about moving or you just want to know a little bit more, you're in the right place.
So grab a coffee, get comfy and let's get Spainfully Honest!
Hello and welcome to episode 43 of Spainfully Honest. And this week we have one of our guests back. So welcome, Paul Cherry. Thank you very much for coming back on.
Pleasure. No, thank you for inviting me. I must have done something right the first time. Thank you.
And today we're going to be talking all about Cartagena. Because Paul's lived in Cartagena now for how many years?
Around about 8 years now.
8 years. Brilliant. So he's going to tell us all about Cartagena. Kind of like a city tour.
Yeah, a tour of the city.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's good for people coming here on holiday or even people living here.
Yeah.
What we thought was we based it on the port, and the reason being, obviously, some people come in on the ships, obviously, but also it's probably the best place in the city centre to park, I think, you think?
Definitely. I always say that to our clients and friends, that when you come into Cartagena, you really want to head down for the Puerto, the port, or the marina, or as the British say, the harbour. So there's an underground car park there, and it's ideal because park the car, you come up and you're right in the city centre basically. So that's the best place. Aim for the marina or the port. Well, Cartagena's a very historic city, and not a lot of people know this, but the Spanish Navy are actually based in Cartagena. And the first ever submarine was actually invented and built in Cartagena, and there's a museum for that. There's you've also got there's the Romans amphitheatre, which, believe it or not, they only found this amphitheatre around about 50 years ago.
Yeah, in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Unbelievable, you know.
It was there the whole time. I think it's mental.
It's big as well, isn't it? It's not as if it's like, a little building.
Yeah, like, no, that's not. It's not like, sometimes you come across something that's like a piece of a wall and you're like, oh, lovely. No, this is the full amphitheatre. It's very cool.
It's unbelievable because, Cartagena in the past, and I'm only going back maybe 15, 20 years ago, wasn't a great city, quite like a sailor's place, quite dirty and whatever. And because of the amphitheatre, they started to realise that they were basically sitting on a gold mine, because below a lot of the buildings was the Roman ruins.
Yeah.
So therefore, they started to have a good look around, and the problem for developers, they've knocked down a building and were going to build an underground car park or the apartment, but they came across Roman ruins.
Yeah.
So they had to stop. So in a roundabout way, Cartagena has really put itself on the tourist mark in only in the last 15 years or so.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it when I first moved here. You wouldn't have gone there in the evening down to that port area, would you?
Not at
all. It was
all.
a bit, particularly on the old streets and everything, it felt a bit different.
Yeah.
The legal go, but now it's totally different.
Yeah.
And obviously that's what you're saying, but also the cruise ships as well, the people, the extra people that are coming, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I speak to them, with Oliver, I speak to them. And it's very rare for anybody to say they didn't have a good day. Who's walked into the city, so it's great. Yeah.
It must be like one of the, well, I don't know, I don't really go on cruises, but it feels like one of the best locations, right? Because you're like off the cruise and you're bang in the middle of everything that's happening. You don't kind of have to travel anywhere, sure you don't, because you have got of course, the Roman amphitheatre, which you spoke about, but there's lots of different other places as well around. It was a really important Roman port back in the day. I don't think people even realise. And people from Cartagena have such like a rivalry with people from Murcia City, don't they? Because Cartagena was more important, of course, and now it was kind of taken in by the region of Murcia. They don't really like that at all.
They don't, and having been an ex-professional football player, when I look at the Cartagena when I was at the derby match against Moorfield, it's the equivalent of Manchester United or Liverpool or Glasgow Celtic or Rangers.
Yeah.
They hate each other. It's a battle.
There's been absolute ructions at the matches, isn't there?
There is, but no, Cartagena, is a cruise destination. It's perfect because a lot of people that go on cruises are either elderly. They want somewhere that's easily accessible. And also, you've got families that go on cruises. Now, as a family, ideally, you want to walk off the ship with the pram or whatever and be right in the heart of it. And you don't want to be sitting on a bus going through a port of container ships to get to somewhere. So Cartagena is a 10 out of 10 for the cruise ships.
Yeah. I even we're talking about all the history, and it sounds like something for adults, but they do tons of stuff for kids as well. There's always storytelling and theatre shows for kids at the Roman theatre as well, or in the museums surrounding areas. There's always stuff on for families, because it might sound you're on a cruise and you're thinking, oh, but I've got kids, they might not like to go and see your Roman historical buildings. They do loads of stuff for kids. I'm constantly writing about all the activities they put on in Cartagena for children, so check that out. So you've come off your cruise, or you've gotten to the port area if you haven't come on a cruise, and you get to the bottom of the old high street. So what is there to look out for there?
Well, if you're at in the marina, basically, just as you're leaving the marina and you're going to head up the Calle Mayor, the old high street, the first building that you will see, and it's one of the nicest buildings in the whole of the Cartagena, is the town hall.
Yeah.
And a beautiful marble building. It just stands out. It's absolutely stunning. But right opposite there is the entrance to the Roman Museum. Now, the museum, you could walk past it because it's not really well signposted.
Just the door, really.
Yeah.
It's the way I always say to people that are looking for the museum, I says, look for the pink salmon building, which is opposite the town hall. And it's got MUSEO, museum. And if you enter there, you're obviously seeing all the old artifacts of what was found with the Romans, but also that is the entrance into the amphitheatre.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a right good look and learn about the history of Cartagena during the Roman times, you'll pay, it's not a large amount, but you'll pay to go through the museum, and then gives you access into the amphitheatre. If you're a bit tight, like a few Scots and Yorkshire people, there is a way that you can actually see the amphitheatre without going in the museum, and you would actually walk past, on the right-hand side be the museum. You take the first right, there's a tobacconist there, which is always busy. You take the first right where the tobacco shop is and walk to the very top. It's about 100 metres, then turn right, and then you'll see the amphitheatre there.
And you get a good view of it, don't you?
You do.
The whole thing.
You do, so, if you don't want to, there's a big family or whatever, you want to see it, but you don't want to pay, sneak up the side of the tobacconist.
So if you go up the high street, where does that then take you?
Yeah, well, if you go up the high street, and the good thing in Cartagena, the main city centre is all pedestrianised. Yeah. So if you continue up the Calle Mayor, the high street, you will come to this building on the left hand side. It's like it's a plaza, a small area that on the left hand side there's an enormous big Spanish flag hanging from this building. Now, a lot of people maybe don't realise this, but the captain of the Spanish Navy, that is his house.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Very good.
So that's the captain of the Spanish Navy. Now, you always know when he's home because they have various flags and there's like cloth things with the arms of the Navy and whatever. And even we've just finished Easter, but the Queen of Spain was staying there. Now, when you go up past there, you'll see the big Spanish flag. Now, this is something that the locals will tell you about, but every morning when the sun rises, so around about 8 o'clock, the Spanish Navy will come out and they will hang the flag up. But what they do is they play the national anthem and everyone in the street stops until the anthem is finished.
That's
Now, you would never get that in the UK. It'd be run past, etc. And the same thing happens in the evening. So when the sun sets, they will take the flag down. And the same thing happens. They play the national anthem, and at the end, they Sunday pre-recorded "Buenas noches, Cartagena." So everyone will stop, and then after the "Buenas noches," they will go. Now, that just shows respect for your country and traditions. And so that's where the Spanish captain of the Navy is housed there.
Very good. Just off the old high street on the right, where I think is it Springfield? If you turn there, there's a church behind there, isn't there? That's a big church.
That's right. Yeah, there's quite a few churches. In fact, if I can go back a bit, where the captain's house is, if you actually right opposite the captain's house, if you turn right, that's the Molinete. So they found a Roman town, just
like you do.
Yeah, like they did. So if you turn right there, there's a couple of museums there, and also you'll see that there's a hill and there's a windmill, a Molinete, which would have been a Roman windmill. So if you go along there, then you've got more Roman museums there. But, regarding churches, there is numerous churches in Cartagena, and they are stunning, absolutely stunning. So worth a visit. And if you went down the main street and there's Springfield, the clothes shop, if you turn right there, and then 60 metres, you'll come to a really nice church.
Yeah, there's not much to look at from the outside, is there? Inside, it's spectacular.
Yeah,
worth a look.
Yes. In fact, that's the church that at the Easter parades, I recommend anyone that's in the area at Easter is go to Cartagena. The parades are on for a week, are just unbelievable. And within that church, they keep the trons, and the trons basically are a wooden monument. When I say monument, they're enormous with Christ or Mary, etc. Is that these trons are kept in the church. There's about 5 or 6 of them, and every day at Easter they get decorated with fresh flowers. And in the evening, when there is a parade, the trons, they weigh about 5 ton, and around about 60 to 80 men will carry these monuments around the city. They'll basically carry it for around about 40 metres, and then normally it's one of the elder statesmen of the church will ring the bell, and that's when all the young boys that are carrying put the tron down, go and have their water, etc. And then the bell rings, and then they have to lift it again and continue parades through the city. It's unbelievable. It's worth a visit, Cartagena, for the Easter.
Yeah. Amazing.
So, if you're like me, and one of your main reasons for visiting cities is restaurants and cafes. In that area, are there any sort of restaurants and cafes that you recommend for because it's only been the morning on it so far, so for like for breakfast or a coffee or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of nice restaurants and cafes, but one of the most popular, which is a bit of a secret actually, is that if you were going past the captain's house on the left hand side, and just if you continue down the side of the captain's house, there is a coffee shop called the Cafe Lab.
Love that place.
And the cafe lab, as I say, it's a secret because it's off the Calle Mayo, it's off the main street.
Yeah.
But the cafe lab, if you go there, and this building is like going back in time, very historic with the natural stone, and you're these and you're there is for a nice coffee,
Yeah.
and they do a lovely breakfast as well. So the cafe lab would be my recommendation for a real nice coffee and breakfast.
Like really different ones as well, and nice tostadas and nice everything. Yeah, I recommend it. I like that place. They have like a little blackboard out, just
that's right. Just
and
at the
it
top
just
there.
shows you where to turn down that road. I think as well, doesn't it? Well, it did when I was there last time anyway. Just because it is, as you say, it's off the beaten track and it's hard to miss. But it's even like a nice little road as you're walking down to it. As you say, that building is lovely. Very nice. I like that. I like the cafe lab.
Yeah.
Very
That actual building, many years ago, that building was where the King of Spain, whenever he was coming down to Cartagena, that was the residence for the royal family there. But it's now a cafe. A very nice cafe.
I was going to start talking about decoration and stuff, but I think it's better if you just walk in and you don't know about it. Right?
It's
And it's kind of like, oh, lovely, it's a surprise.
So that's cafe lab. I think.
Cafe lab.
cafe lab.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the lab of cafe, like because they make the cafe so nice.
Yeah.
Like it's the lab. Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
No.
Lovely. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
So we've had a rest. We've had a delicious coffee, and where are we off to next?
Well, if you continue down the Calle Mayor, and then there's a street called Calle Santa Florentina. In Calle Santa Florentina, if you turn right there and you head straight up, you will come to where the Cartagena florists. So there's about 4 or 5 florists, not shops, because everything is laid out, and the flowers and the smell. It's absolutely stunning. And so you go up Calle Santa Florentina. When you get to the top of Calle Santa Florentina, you'll actually come to, there's a park. And the park is also the military museum is located at the park.
Oh, okay.
So if you continue up there, the military museum is well worth a visit, because that area, beautiful buildings, was actually the ammunition. You wouldn't want to live there during the Civil War, because that's where all the ammunition was kept. But it's now at the military museum. But at the park area, there's if you're looking for something to eat for lunch, there's a beautiful restaurant called A La Brasa. And a la brasa is basically they cook everything on the barbecue.
Yeah.
But it's a nut market restaurant. You'll pay a bit more, but the setting is beautiful. There's a small pond there and old building. So a la brasa would be one of my choices for if you want to treat your wife, your husband, your girlfriend or whatever. A la brasa, just at the top of Calle Santa Florentina.
Oh,
That's a really nice place. Yeah.
I was just going to talk. Get hungry and get on.
No, it's
Are you having dinner?
Oh, there's other restaurants I can recommend. If you wanted a very good value meal and you like your paellas, then I can recommend a restaurant that only locals really know about.
I like these.
Yeah.
They're the best places, because they don't go where the tourists go.
Yeah.
I always say that because you tend to find that you're paying a bit more, and the food is probably not as good as where the locals go.
Yeah.
Hence, the locals don't go to where the tourists go.
Yeah, they're probably geared up for loads of tourists coming in at once, and so it's maybe half prepared the food, and so it's never going to be exactly the same, is it, as these places?
Yeah. But for paellas, there's a restaurant called Universal. So just think of the stars, Universal.
Yeah.
And the Universal restaurant is quite close to the park, the military park. And at Universal, their specialities is paellas. So they'll do seafood paellas, meat paellas, but they also have a mixed menu. So if you're not into paellas, don't worry. There's a good choice. Now, that's one of our favourites. We'll go there at least once a week. And the service is first class. You know, you'll have a two-course meal, starter, main meal, bottle of wine for €50.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was just
So
going to ask you,
it's
like,
good
what the
value.
price is gonna be. Yeah. Very nice.
Universal's worth
Yeah.
a recommendation.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. A lot of these, sometimes these kind of Spanish restaurants don't have a great presence on social media or websites and things like that. But I'll do my best to find out everywhere we've spoke about, and I'll put it in the show notes. So if you want to click on the restaurant or whatever, bring you directly to their, whether it be a Facebook page that I find or a website. I know Cafe Lab definitely does. But I'll have a look for all the others, and I'll do what I can so to put it in the show notes. So then if you want to just click on it, and it can show you the restaurant or whatever it is.
Yeah. So for shopping and things, KMA is where all the main shops are, isn't it? The restaurants and bars and they tend to be more chains, don't they, than private ones. So you need to be just like walking off KMA or each time, don't you, if you're looking for something a bit different. I think that's the same in most cities, isn't it? If it's got a high street, it's unlikely to be private restaurants and bars. It's more likely to be chains.
Yeah.
You see,
What is that place though? You know, when you walk up, I think you're close to Zara. It's like as you're walking up, the marinas behind you, and you're walking up the high street, it's on the left-hand side. It's like a really old, like wooden place. Is
a casino.
Is it a casino?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I always see people going in and out there.
That's been refurbed. The restaurant closed down, didn't it?
That's
So they took it over.
correct, yeah.
They've refurbed it, but to make it, back to its original, it's very impressive looking.
Is it somewhere though that you can go in and eat or drink or anything like that?
Yeah, it's a ton. There's a bar place to it that's got its own door, and then there's the main entrance.
I've never gone in. I don't know where I haven't gone in, but I've never gone in. So that looks lovely though.
Yeah, it's the casino, and when we British talk about casino, we're thinking about blackjack and roulette,
It's
but
totally
it's
different,
totally
isn't it?
different.
Yeah.
So the casino basically was where the business people of the Spanish cities, Cartagena, for example, would go to the casino to discuss business and
Or like that, what we would call maybe a social club.
Or even a gentleman's.
a genuine.
Yeah.
That's it. Basically, but the casino has various things on, such as ballroom dancing. There's yoga, etc. So they're not. It's no longer what it was originally.
Yeah.
It's a place for people of all ages and nationalities to mix. So it's a beautiful building.
Sorry, I brought us back down. It popped into my head there. And also something cool, because if you are going shopping, because there's lots of shops there, of course.
Yeah.
Sephora, for anyone who loves Sephora. If you're going into the shops, some of them have like glass floors because they found ruins and stuff underneath the shops, and then they kind of dug them up and then covered the floors in like glass, so you can see them in some of the stores as well, can't you? It's cool, isn't it? I love that. So I really feel like the history is all around you, like you're in it when you're walking through Cartagena, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Once you get up the high street, you then come into Calle Carmen. And there's a lot of nice shops up there. There's a few real Spanish restaurants for tapas up there. And then you then come to the Plaza España, which is an enormous big roundabout. But what they tend to do in the cities like Cartagena is the roundabout has children's play areas.
Yeah.
So as most of the families live in apartments, they don't have the beauty of having a big garden for children to play in, is they have various park areas throughout the city. So it's really nice because you take the children there or the grandchildren, The children will play, and 9 times out of 10, there's normally a nice bar or a cafe right at the children's play area.
Yeah.
And that is just the Spanish life. It's lovely to see all the families there, and they're happy on the swings and roundabouts, etc. So
That's
There's
good.
usually tons of kids as well, so they'll like make friends with other kids as well. So they're not just playing there by themselves or anything. They're usually playing with other kids.
yeah, correct. There's
And that roundabout is particularly good. Cause I know all the parks intimately,
Yeah.
of course. But even they do, because it's quite big, they even like set up like little markets there sometimes. Sometimes it's clothes or artisan products or books or whatever it may be. Because that's how big it is. Like, so they have space to do that, don't they?
That's right.
So it's a good one, that one. I'm just thinking as well, while we're there on that roundabout,
Yeah.
there might be people, if there are people who've come off a cruise ship listening to this, looking for a Corte Inglés.
Yeah, correct. That's what I was going to say next, Dan.
Off you go, lovely. So yeah, so I was just thinking about what I'd be looking for.
Yeah. So if you head up to the Plaza España, the big roundabout, and you want to, spend some money on nice clothes or nice handbags or whatever, then El Corte Inglés is the main department store in Spain. There's an El Corte Inglés throughout Spain, really nice quality, what they've got to sell, and food as well is really nice. So if you continue straight up from the Plaza España, and you can walk up and it's tree lined, then it's about from the Plaza España, it's about a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
And then El Corte Inglés is on the right hand side. You won't miss it.
No.
You will see it on the right hand side of that 15-minute walk. So El Corte Inglés, if you're looking for nice clothes, or
It is. They all are very impressive stores, aren't they?
Sure.
My working history is retail, and there's not a lot left in the UK
No.
like that anymore.
No.
As good as that.
No, that's right.
Very good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So if you're in the city for a couple of days, are there any places that you could get to by taxi, bus, or train that aren't too far away?
Yeah, well, there's one place I would recommend, is that there's a drink in Cartagena called the 43, which is number 43. So the bottle is a label with 43 in it. So 43 is a local liqueur. And the reason it's called 43 number 43 is pretty simple. There's 43 ingredients.
Are they secret?
It's
That's Kentucky.
it is a secret, and the 43, it was a local family that invented it many years ago, and even today, even now, when they are mixing the ingredients, it's a member of the family
So it looks
Wow, that's
that
great.
only knows, the family only know what is going in there and what the ingredients are,
That's fantastic.
or the amount of each ingredient.
Yeah.
So it's a member of the family. Now, this is a business that produces 15,000 bottles a day. And can you imagine that happening in any business? That grandfather or dad has to come to put the correct amount of ingredients. So the 43 experience, I would recommend, it's about a 10-minute taxi drive, or 10 minutes out of the city, and you'll actually go to where the factory, where they make it. And it's very, very interesting. You get to obviously taste the product, and there's various cocktails that can be made with the liqueur, or the liqueur is really nice with a block of ice or a touch of ice.
Yeah.
So, the cost of that, it's about €22. You're there for 2.5, 3 hours, and you'll come out happy. And I can guarantee you will come out probably with a bottle of 43, or one of they do this cream brulee. It's the Spanish Baileys.
Yeah.
And whenever we go there, I always end up with a bottle of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's well worth the visit, and even if you don't drink, even just to go and learn the history of this family business. It's,
Cool.
it's
And even the building itself is quite unique as well, isn't it? It's where you go look at it. It's quite again, you won't miss it.
you will not miss it, and it's the colours of the building. When this was getting built, which was it's probably only about 10 years old now, that building. But when it was getting built, I thought it was actually a paint manufacturing because I've since found out there's 43 colours. So the colours are of the ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's why when you drive past, if you're coming into Cartagena, and on the right-hand side, if you see this building with all these citrus colours, etc., that is the 43.
Yeah.
So well worth
People
it.
often say, "What's that building that's
It's not paint
on its
manufacturing.
own, it stands out.
Oh, really stands out. Yeah, it's cool.
That's good.
So,
And while we're on, just to kind of reduce that family's work down to something really basic, people often describe it as like an orange kind of liqueur. And that's what I've heard people say. It's kind of an orange. But again, I feel like that's a bit mean because it's 43 different ingredients. I feel like they probably don't like that description. But if you're speaking to the family, I would imagine.
It's good to know. It's good to know what
you're getting into.
Yeah.
And there's a coffee in Cartagena, isn't there, that's linked to that drink, the Licor 43.
correct, yeah. The coffee is, and I'd recommend it, it's called an Asiatico. So if you may imagine Asia, Asiatico. And the Asiatico is a small coffee glass, actually, that they serve it in. So there'll be the coffee, but first of all, they put condensed milk in. So you've got a right kick of sugar with the condensed milk. You'll get a shot of 43. You'll have the coffee, and then they'll foam up the milk, and then put cinnamon powder, and also two or three tiny slithers of lemon skin.
Yeah.
Will go into the coffee as well. Now, the tip of the day is do not put any sugar in that.
They will give you a sugar with it because they always do. But no, you're right.
Do not put any sugar in until you have tasted this, because the Asiatico is so sweet that I've seen numerous people put their usual 2 teaspoons of sugar into this, and their teeth disintegrate. so try an Asiatico. I would recommend avoid having an Asiatico late evening, because you have no chance of sleeping, because your heart rate just jumps up. But the Asiatico is well worth.
So that's the place to have one of them.
Invented in Cartagena,
Cartagena.
Invented it. In fact, you can go, I don't know how nearby it is, but the cafe that invented the coffee is still there.
That's right.
It's actually up for sale if someone wants to buy it.
Oh,
And they put like a monument beside it as well about the Cafe Asiatico because it's quite famous. And it dates back to that home in port, because the condensed milk is quite popular in lots of different types of coffees in this area. And like if you went to Madrid, for example, or Zaragoza or anywhere else and asked for condensed milk in your coffee, they wouldn't have it. But if you're in this area in Murcia, and it kind of trickles out a little bit from around these areas, but it started in Cartagena because of the port, because it came across from imagine Asia.
That's a clue.
And so it's gone into the coffees in this area. So it's cool. I love that those little bits of information. So yeah, if you come into Cartagena, you have to have a Cafe Asiatico, for sure. I can't have coffee without condensed milk in it now.
No.
I love it. I have a bonbon. But I have even like a bottle of condensed milk downstairs, like in my house. So when I have a coffee, I put condensed milk into it. Not as much as you would usually get, but just a bit of sugar, I put in condensed milk.
Yeah, wow.
Olga puts it in Sprite.
Oh,
Condensed?
Yeah, it's like a Cuban thing.
No wonder the dentists are busy.
That's like there's 10 dentists in every town.
That's it.
So if you can't, so say you're short of time, so you can't get to the factory as such, there is 43's shop and restaurant on the port, isn't there? So if you haven't got much time, you can go there and buy your bottle. I think they give some freebies out as well, don't they? Sometimes walk around with some tasters.
Aye, taster.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, no, if you're down in the marina, then yeah, the 43's, there's the shop and a lovely restaurant, very upmarket restaurant.
It's only new, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Lovely setting because you've got views right over the marina. So, you get your 43's there. It was interesting. It was about 10 years ago, I had a client who was wanting to rent a villa. And I said to him, I said, are you relocating? And he said, yeah, I'm from Scotland and I work for Diageo. Now, Diageo is a big drinks company. They own various brands in the UK. And what he had been offered the job with 43 was to do the marketing throughout Europe.
Cool.
So if he's still there, he has done very, very well because now you can go, if you go into most airports throughout Europe, you will see a bottom of 43. 10, 15 years ago, it was locally. So it just shows you how the brand has just increased throughout Europe and the world.
It's because it's exploded, hasn't it? It really has. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Cool.
Is there anything else? If you're, you don't want to walk as far or you haven't got so much time, is there anything else in the port area that you could look at?
Well, there's a couple of places I would recommend, and a lot of people, again, locals will know about this, but a lot of visitors to Cartagena do not realise that there is actually a beach in Cartagena called Cala Cortina.
Calaportina.
Yeah. So Cala Cortina is, you could walk it. It's about a 20-minute walk from the city, but the taxis would take you there in 7 or 8 minutes. Now, Cala Cortina is it's like an alcove, a small bay, and there's a lovely restaurant there, a very Spanish fish restaurant, and it's a place that you would never know existed because you can't see it from the marina. And you have to go through a tunnel to get to it. So Cala Cortina would be another recommendation, is that if you want a bit of the beach and the children want to dip in the sea while you're in Cartagena, take them to Cala Cortina. It's well worth a visit.
It comes up over and over again as one of the best beaches in Spain. Not just, it often pops up like National Geographic or these types of places will highlight it, saying just it's one of the best or prettiest or whatever they decide to call it.
Yeah,
So,
Good.
yeah, that's so that again. Apart from that, if you don't fancy the beach and sand and nice seafood, then down at the marina there's 2 museums there. You've got the museum ARQUA, I think it is.
ARQUA.
And you'll see all the coins and the history of the Spanish Armada. There, and very interesting. And that is just at the marina, very close to the 43 restaurant. So once you've been in the museum, get your bottle and a 43. And also you've got the Naval Museum, which is if you were looking at from the marina, looking out to the right hand side, is the Naval Museum. And again, that's free of charge. Go in there and you'll see and view the history of the Spanish Navy, and well worth a visit.
ARQUA is amazing. It's free as well. It used to charge in, but then they stopped charging in for whatever reason. So they don't charge. Well, when I was there the last time, which was about a year ago, they weren't charging. So, and they have Phoenician boats there, which are like the oldest boats ever found, and which they've discovered in Mazatlan, just down from Cartagena. And they're in the ARQUA.
Because Cartagena itself as a port dates back to 227 BC.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah.
So fantastic. So that's great.
But even also down at the marina, there's a concert hall.
Oh yeah, lovely.
They get some big famous people there, don't
Yeah.
they?
You do, yeah. So look out, you know, if you are down for a weekend in Cartagena or spending more of the time, then see El Batel is the concert place, and a lot of big acts go there. But I made a mistake last year, actually. I got tickets for El Batel, the theatre, and it was Saturday Night Fever. So I thought, this is brilliant. They've come from America, this stage show. So Saturday Night Fever, I thought, brilliant. So we went down on the Saturday, and I scanned my ticket, and I wasn't able to get in. And I said to the girl, I says, why is my ticket? And she looked, she says, that was last night.
Oh, okay.
It was Friday night. And I decided that I thought it would have been on a Saturday night. So we had to scurry away in my John Travolta gear. So if you are going to El Batel, make sure you get the date.
It's very nice. It's kind of a modern place, isn't it? It's very cool. I went to see the ballet there, the Christmas one, Nutcracker. Very good. It was very nice. Modern. Yeah, jumps out.
It doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of time when people are on holiday or they visit somewhere, they sort of decide they might want to live there.
Yeah.
And that's where Paul comes in,
Yeah.
because what do you do in Cartagena, Paul?
Well, we have a real estate business, so we buy and sell properties and commercials in Cartagena and the surrounding area as well. So you tend to find for people that want the real Spanish lifestyle is they will buy in the city, because you know you've got everything within walking distance. Your garden, if you like, is the street with the cafes, etc.
Yeah.
But we've got the beach
Yeah.
close by, Cartagena. So yeah, you're getting more and more, I'd say, Northern European, who like the fact that there is a marina. Now, marina means that obviously people have boats.
Yeah.
So we've had a few clients that have got a lovely boat, but they don't want to live in a boat. They want to go out into the Mediterranean with their boat, but they prefer to live in an apartment.
Yeah.
And you know, so you get people that are buying to have a base within the city, because you've got everything in the city. You don't need a car.
Yeah.
And the public transport is very good as well.
Yeah.
Paul was on the podcast before, on episode 9, talking about living in the city and living on a resort. If you want more information from Paul, if you go to www.chersun.com, that's Paul's website, get a lot more information on there.
Yeah, cool. And I'll link it in the show notes so you can click on the link and it'll take you directly to the website.
Thank you.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on again. It's been an absolute pleasure and really great information about Cartagena.
Yeah.
It's an amazing city. We're lucky to have it nearby. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.